Here's your latest African news. Lesotho. Legendary musician Sepulzola dies. Stanley Letsela, director of Letsela Entertainment, has confirmed that legendary musician Sepulzola died on Thursday after being admitted to hospital last week Friday. The 68-year-old died due to COVID-19 complications in Lesotho, the family confirmed in a statement. Tshola has been in the music industry for more than 4 decades and has entertained audiences on international stages. He became a household name with his iconic 1994 debut album, The Village Pope. He remains one of the most prominent jazz musicians in the country. Tshola has collaborated with artists such as Casper Nyovest, Jub Jub, Rebecca Malope, and Joyous Celebration. Despite being a permanent resident of South Africa, he maintained close ties with his home country. May he rest in peace. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe NGOs sue government over alleged planned export of elephants to China. A Zimbabwean environmental group is suing the government over plans to export elephants to China. The group advocates for Earth, accuses China of subjecting elephants to unhealthy conditions. In an application to Zimbabwe's High Court, the rights group is seeking to prevent the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority from going through with the export. Lenintinashe Chisaira, who heads Advocates for Earth, says the group just wants authorities to comply with the existing laws and that African wildlife should not be exported to destinations that are not appropriate for those species, that are not in natural or historic range. Zimbabwe's elephant population has grown in recent years, climbing to more than 100,000. Some farmers have complained that the elephants are destroying their crops and grazing lands. However, the Zimbabwe Wildlife Authority denies it's in the process of exporting elephants to China. Kenya. 93 Kenyans have died in the Middle East in 3 years. Some 93 Kenyans have died in the Middle East in the past 3 years, a minister has said. Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugi told MPs that the ministry is unable to provide a detailed background on the deaths of the Kenyans, which occurred mostly in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. The CS had appeared before the Labour Committee to discuss the alarming and sudden deaths of Kenyans in the Middle East. He said that since January 2019, the ministry facilitated the employment of over 87,000 Kenyans in the Gulf region. A majority of the migrant workers are in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and Bahrain. Within the same period, the ministry has received reports of 93 deaths of Kenyan migrant workers in the Gulf region, stating the cases should be investigated further, despite the initial and recorded cause of death given by the Gulf states. The Middle East is said to be notorious for the mistreatment of African migrant workers who often accuse the employers of slavish treatment. Congo Kinshasa, fiber to put DRC at the center of Africa connectivity. Liquid Intelligent Technologies and Facebook plans to build a metro fiber network in the Democratic Republic of Congo to connect East and West Africa by land. Though they are yet to reveal when the construction of the network will commence, the two partners are hoping to connect more than 30 million people to the internet once the 2,000-kilometer network is complete. The network will create a digital corridor from the Atlantic Ocean through the Congo rainforest to East Africa and onto the Indian Ocean. Liquid Technologies has been working on the digital corridor for more than 2 years now, which now reaches the central DRC. The corridor will connect DRC to its neighboring countries, including Angola, Congo, Brazzaville, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. The new build will stretch from central DRC to the eastern border in Rwanda. DRC is the last frontier in broadband connectivity between East, Central, and West African regions. Africa-wide, Amnesty slams Libya, Europe, over horrific abuse of migrants. Amnesty International has condemned the horrific violations being committed against migrants returned to Libya with the cooperation of European states after trying to cross the Mediterranean. The rights group said on Thursday that the new evidence had emerged of harrowing violations, including sexual violence against men, women, and even children, intercepted at sea and forcibly returned to detention centers in the North African country. At the end of 2020, Libya's Directorate and Combating Illegal Migration had legitimized abuses by taking over 2 detention centers run by armed groups, from where hundreds of refugees and migrants had forcibly disappeared. Pope Francis and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres have called for the closure of these facilities. East Africa. EA Court strikes out suit against Uganda over El Victoria flooding. The East African Court of Justice has struck out a case in which 5 Kenyans sued the Ugandan government for not managing the outflows of water from Lake Victoria, which resulted in flooding. The floods displaced people in countries on the lake basin and damaged tons of property. The 5 had sued the government of Uganda, East African Community's Secretary General, and the Lake Victoria Basin Commission. The case was first filed in May 2020 by the 5 lawyers who argued that Uganda is greatly impacting the lake by releasing more water than is allowed by a legal agreement between Kampala and Egypt. The 5 Kenyans said the Ugandan government has consistently failed to control floods around the shores of Lake Victoria, resulting in the displacement of people and damage to their property. Uganda's breach has caused flooding that has damaged property and displaced more than 50,000 humans around the lake. Nigeria. Burna Boy, Davido, Femi Kuti, others to feature as Global Citizen holds their concert. International advocacy organization Global Citizen has announced Global Citizen Live, a 24-hour live broadcast with events and performances filmed across 6 continents to unite the world to defend the planet and defeat poverty. With performances and live events in Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, North and South America, Global Citizen Live will air on ABC, ABC News Live, BBC, FX, iHeartRadio, Hulu, YouTube, Twitter, and more on Saturday, September the 25th of 2021. Global Citizen Live is a part of an ongoing effort to defend the planet and defeat poverty, powered by citizens around the world who are taking action together with governments, corporations, and philanthropists to make a real change. Thank you so much for watching. Visit our YouTube channel, Tunacheki, to watch our weekly news reports and our website at tunacheki.tv for all the latest news updates. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a patron. And remember that Africa is watching. And please feel free to leave your suggestions, news tips, or topics about Africa that you'd like us to explore.